Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome back then, one day later than planned, to the Endurance series here on Motorsport Manager. Had a bit of an issue with some very loud children yesterday, so I didn't really want to live stream. May still have the issue today because they're still here, but we'll just power through it. If not, if you hear some screaming kids in the background a bit later on, that is why. But we need to get on with this then. 2 races to go in the opening season. It's not gone completely to plan so far, let's be honest. But due to Porsche's really bad form in the last couple of races, it's actually Porsche that we're looking at maybe closing down rather than Signatech. Signatech seem to have really improved their car as the season's gone on somehow. Not quite sure how that's happened, but they have. And I thought we'd start this episode with what we said we would do last time, if I can find the right tab, that might help. Which is, now that we've opened up the scouting, we might have some new Formula F1 drivers that we didn't have before. So we're just going to take a look through and see if there's any we've missed. That's RIO, remember. We're looking for drivers that used to be in Formula 1 to put into our endurance cars. Don't know why. I can't even remember why I picked that as a thing, but it is now. It's the cost, I think it was Formula E, not Formula 1. So we might not have any new ones opened, to be fair. I don't think there's any so far. So Nakajima, I think that's the same Nakajima that was in Formula 1. If it is, we'll scout them anyway. I don't think Apt ever was. Ricardo, never heard of him. He might be a Formula 1 driver. Can't say I've heard of his progress in the world of motorsport. Barthez, Fabien Barthez, isn't that? That is the ex-France goalkeeper, Fabien Barthez. Is he actually a racing driver now? That's very bizarre if he is. Okay, I don't know why that's a thing. He used to be a good goalkeeper for Man United in France, but whether he can drive a racing car, I really don't know. Whether that was just put in because the makers of the mod are a fan. Lacey, is that Lacey's son? That might be one to look out for in the Haas career mode at a later date. Harrison Newey, that's Adrian Newey's son. Again, doesn't tick the box though of Formula F1 driver. Jack Villeneuve, of course, a pundit now. I don't know, he has done IndyCar occasionally as well. He is unemployed. I think he might be a little bit too past the post to put in as an ex-F1 driver, but we'll scout him anyway. We'll see. A 6-year-old Jan Lammers. Is he apparently an actual LMP2 driver? He must be. That's pretty impressive if he's driving LMP2s at that age. That's real stamina right there. Or he hasn't made enough during his career and can't retire yet. Kobayashi, I can't believe we haven't scouted him before. Of course, currently driving for the Toyota car anyway in this league. In the World Endurance Championship. So we'll scout him anyway. I kind of want to stay clear of people that are currently driving in F1. Because we want to be a sort of a home for the retired F1 drivers. You know, it's a nice, gentle retirement home for them to go and drive endurance cars for 6 hours at a time. So I don't want to take them out of their job. I only want to take them once they've retired from F1. Or being kicked out, of course. I don't think we're going to find that many more, to be fair. I think Rosberg was the only one. Fires louder. I presume as he's Austrian, might be a relation, but still doesn't count because he hasn't actually been an F1 driver. Okay, I don't think we're going to find too many more here, as I probably suspected, because most of the big drivers, which obviously an ex-F1 driver is, are probably going to be in the mod in the first place. I've got a feeling Rosberg will be the only one that we find. I said we'd have a look through, so we're having a look through. I don't think there's going to be any obscure ones I'm missing. And I know most F1 drivers in the last 20 years, I'd like to think. Roberto Merri used to drive for Marussia, so I think they might have even been Virgin back in that day. So we'll definitely put him on the list. I was kind of hoping that they'd have more like ex-F1 drivers, like a 65-year-old Alain Prost or a 60-year-old Jean Alesi, but apparently not. I guess you would have a certain level of realism in the game. Okay, I think there are going to be no... Oh my god, there's another Palmer. Oh no, please don't let him into F1. Let him end his career now. We don't need another Palmer. We don't need more memes. Right, there is no more. So, let's keep going. As I said, we won't be putting anybody in to the team until next season anyway. So, we had one mistake with the pit crew last time out. So, we've got one that's burnt out completely. Haber. Oh, that's actually Kui that is burnt out. So, we will swap him out for, I guess... This is the problem, we need people that are good at both. With a couple of races to go, we're running out of options here. Is anybody new we can bring in? He's fairly good fan at both fixing and tyres, so we can bring him on board. He should be able to fill a little gap for Harbour. And then, where else? I think we're okay. We don't need quite as many mechanics for endurance as we do Formula 1. Which is probably a good thing. So I think that's okay. Car, as I say, we stopped developing parts now. This suspension part will be the last one. And then we will start saving for next year. I'm a little bit worried we haven't saved quite enough money for next year. And it's very difficult to know how much prize money we're going to get in the endurance series. So... hopefully it's enough. Otherwise we might be driving around in just a bare chassis next year. Okay. Right, reliability is pretty good across the board, apart from the new suspension parts, obviously, that we've just got. So we will try and focus purely on those. I think we might take that performance, that reliability off the engine, just to try and improve our chances. Same with that rear wing, of getting those two suspension parts ready for the next race. It is in 24 days time, so we've got quite a while. And then in terms of performance, these two are pretty much maxed, so we'll switch those both over to the new suspension as well and put the slider back to 1010. Right, I think that's about all we're going to have to do, apart from some scouts, which we went a little early on there. Okay, Nelson Piquet Jr., of course, drove for Renault for a few years. Looks like a fairly decent option. He's very expensive for what I thought he would. Obviously, he's already in the Rebellion team in this class anyway. But definitely possible. He's got good experience in this championship. Just a little bit worried about how much he costs, though. But he will be added to the list, I'm sure. And Bruno Senna... again, also driving for Rebellion, also very expensive. Filming a documentary at the moment. Would that by any chance be about his uncle? Probably. Okay. I've got a pretty good idea of who I want in that car next year, but we will get to that in the off season, I'm sure. Probably do an extra long episode when we get into the off season. We'll do the pre-season and the first race in a single episode. Right, spec suspension systems will not benefit traditional teams, so it won't benefit us apparently. I would have thought it would have benefited us because we don't have to pay, we don't have to spend money on it, but we have done quite a few upgrades to our suspension this year, and I'd like to carry that forward to next year's car, so I think we will abstain just to keep that vote. And it voted against anyway, we wouldn't have been able to make any difference there. And we should be on to the race now then. Okay, right, we'll go task communications as per usual. And we'll have a nice split of tyres. Going a little bit more for soft and mediums. More mediums than soft, so. And hopefully we'll at least be able to get one of these suspension parts on the car. Let's have a look, shall we? Ah, perfect. So the choice in switching the reliability purely just to those two parts has worked, so we can get them on the car. Nice. We'll give the better performing one to car number 1. That's of course got all our very expensive talent in it. They should be fairly happy with the cars anyway. Yeah, they're fine. Right, let's get on to practice, shall we? Just 2 races to go. I say, if we're lucky, we can maybe beat Porsche or Rebellion. It's going to be unlikely, let's be honest. I think we need some big improvements for our car, and that's going to come mostly from the car we build at the beginning of next season, if we've got enough money. We're going to have to do something very good, different on strategy, or rely on some reliability problems for either Porsche or Signal if we're going to take 3rd or possibly even 2nd. I guess that's the only plus point of Porsche struggling as well, is there's 2 cars in range of us, and Toyota have been left on their own to pretty much dominate this season. But got a feeling we're going to be seeing a lot of that the next year or so, with only Toyota coming. Well, Toyota really the only major manufacturer in Le Mans this up and coming year. It's going to be interesting to see. If anyone did see the teams announced for this, what they're calling WEC Super Season. And there's a lot of privateer LMP1 cars, which is going to be really interesting to see how they do. Obviously, if the Toyotas have problems, they could pick up some victories. But it's going to be very interesting to see how they compete against a huge talent like Toyota. Right, we will go out on race trim on the medium tyres with both cars. Let's bump the speed up a bit. So the temperatures look okay in practice. Hopefully tyre wear won't be too much of an issue here. I've been trying to think back as to how we got some of our great results early in the season. It was purely doing 1 less stop than the competition. But the field seemed to be a lot closer at the beginning of the year. It would seem that Rebellion people have definitely improved a lot as the season has gone on. Or we've just got worse. It's one of the two. Right, that's a pretty perfect start. 98% first go for Webber. So we'll put Kibitz in the car. Evening Leaf, how you doing, my friend? Welcome along. Sorry this is a day and $1 late, but we'll get on with it today. Right, well, we might get our first chance of getting 100% set up then. Because we can't really go wrong, considering the speed balance is right up against the mark there. But we'll send Kibitzer out on a nice long stint to get some knowledge built up. Right, let's put Gonzalez in the car. And not a bad setup for car number 2 either. We've been a bit lucky here. So this should mean we get a lot more running in this session than normal. Let's try the handling that way a little bit and just see if we can make that a little bit better as well. And again, we'll just send them out for a long run because we've got a lot less work to do. I'm fairly confident we will improve car number 2 setup as well. So hopefully we can just leave the guys out there to do the business. said, I am a little bit worried about how much money we're going to have next season, because these aren't cheap cars, and I can't imagine the prize money here is anywhere near what you get in the F1 series, so we might be a little bit short, but we'll see. I'll try and build the best car we can next year, but we've still got 2 races to try and improve the prize money we get. And say, Porsche, it seems to be that they're doing very strange strategies, and that's why they've been struggling. Obviously they were caught out by the safety car last time, but they've been struggling for a few races now, doing some strange strategies. And it was Toyota at the beginning of the year that was doing that. Toyota was just doing 3 or 4 more stops than anybody else for some bizarre reason. Even Greg, how you doing, my buddy? Yep, your weekly dose of endurance racing indeed. A day late this time, but hopefully we can get through it this evening. Not too much background noise. People that read my Twitter will know what I'm talking about. How are you getting on with the potential 24-hour mod, Greg? I did see your last email, but it's I haven't had a chance to pick through it yet, I'm afraid. So I hope things are progressing. Really looking forward to playing it. If you can get any kind of working model, I would be well up for playing that on stream. Okay. Not really much to do here apart from have a chat and just let them go around. I don't want to make everything too short, so I will leave it on full speed while they just do their laps. We do have real life, absolutely. We sometimes wish we couldn't, but where would we be without it? Well, it's a loaded question really, either in the Matrix or dead. Oh god, the 24-hour is it proving a bitch? Even if it's just like a working prototype, man, I know your attention to detail, you want to get it perfect, but it doesn't have to. You know, I've played so many mods that don't work properly for hours and hours just because I love the concept in different games. It doesn't necessarily have to work perfectly. It crashed when you imported the 12-hour data to the 24-hour data. Completely demoralised me. Oh, I bet. That sucks. Basically. So what does that mean? You probably can't run them both at the same time? Or there's something wrong when it gets transferred to a 24-hour cycle. Right, let's make small tweaks to handling. We can't... So we may as well just make little changes to both downforce and speed balance as well. Because then we'll know we just have to go the other way if they're wrong. And we can go on to qualifying trim already. This is a good session so far. I'm wondering, I think maybe... like last time, I might go hard tyres for the qualifying stints just so that we've got the option to maybe get a bonus to both medium and hard tyre running in the race, because soft tyres we so rarely use and qualifying really isn't important in these. You want to give me a link to what is working between 6 and 12 hour portions. Okay, man, I shall take a look. It's obviously a problem when you're trying to work different lengths of races. As I said before, even if you can just make it so that it's one race season or something with just one 24-hour race, or even a 12-hour race would be something completely different, a different challenge to what we get already. Right, did we change anything? We did, and it's still 98. Okay, someone doesn't want me to get 100%. Let's try another tick on the speed balance then, and we'll, same as the other kart, we'll go out in qualifying trim on the hard tyres. Leave them out there for a few laps. If you understood that straight away, Greg, it wouldn't have been one in the game. Everything that should be so simple never ever works out like that. I remember that from old games like Race 07 and stuff, where you used to play with all the config files to try and get safety cars to work properly and AI aggression and braking points and stuff. And you always thought that if you kept the same formula or changed the numbers, it should work exactly the same, but it never does. It never does. Well, I'll keep plugging away at it, buddy. There's no time limit on it, is there? There's something nice to work in the background. I think, unfortunately, I don't think we're going to see a sequel to this game anytime soon, so it'll be modding that keeps it alive, I think. Although they did release a second one on mobile, so I don't know whether that's an indicator that they will bring it out on PC eventually. To be honest, I'd like some more DLC stuff to give modders more tools to work with when creating mods. Another thing I really miss from games like Grand Prix World and F1 Manager is merchandise and like the whole like commercial aspect. I know it won't be everybody's bag, but I did kind of enjoy that aspect of running the F1 team as well that those games had. And I keep trying to okay, we've gone the wrong way with car number 2 then, but at least we know how to fix it. So we can just switch those back. So we can just change downforce back that way a little bit, and the speed balance the other way, and that should be about all we need to do. Right, hard tyres back on again, and back out. Car number 2, we've gone a little the wrong way on the speed balance. You're setting your deadline for having it done for Fallen Ones. But you got 2 this season, so even if you miss it, you can still say, "Oh no, I meant the second one." I'd rather see an official DLC with 24-hour endurance racing before a sequel. Yeah, I'm a little bit split on having official support for it. I was always an advocate for it originally, and really thought that they should try and seek out the official manufacturers, but modding's done such a great job that I don't feel it necessary. I don't feel what it would add apart from adding a huge amount to the production cost. Right, so we actually need to go the other way on the speed balance, which is a bit surprising. Okay, go back out. Qualifying. I swear, this game never wants me to get higher than like 99%. Even when you get 98% on the first try, I still can't improve it. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I would like to see, maybe not official DLC, as I say, I just feel it would put a lot of cost involved with the team. I know it's still quite a small team. But I definitely like different forms of motorsport. The only reason I would like a sequel is just because I really don't like the part system and a lot of the way the game works, so I would like to see it change from the ground up in that respect, which you could only do by creating a sequel. Oh, day-night cycle. Yeah, that's a very good point. That is something that endurance racing completely misses, isn't it? Yeah, I was super disappointed about that as well. Because that's kind of the whole challenge, isn't it? And then you can have drivers that are specialists at night as well, and brings a whole different sort of temperature and ball game to the tactics involved. Well, apparently I'm not meant to get 100%, but every time I say this, Fox keeps telling me that he's got a couple 100%, so I'm sure you guys have, but I don't believe it. Even if I see pictures, I don't believe it until I get one. I don't think it's possible. I think everybody lies. A part system more like F1 2017 would be cool. My big problem, I haven't had a rant about it for a good 4 or 5 months, so let's go into it again, shall we? My big problem with the part system stems from the old F1 Manager. 98 again, for God's sake. Seriously? Right, I don't really know why we need to send them out again. Let's just put some soft tyres on and out you go, Mark. Stems from the old F1 games where at a base level, if you just the process in putting parts on a car, you design a part, you make it, wind tunnel it or whatever, and then you put it on both cars. You don't, and then you make spares. The way they always used to work, the old games, is you would design a part, and then that would be available for the car, and it would get damaged and take wear, and you would have to swap things over, swap engines over, swap front wings over. No F1 team, unless they've only managed to build one of the part, turns up with two completely different cars. It doesn't happen. Try to make sure, do minimal adjustments, take a screenshot next time. I don't believe screenshots. I think people just winding me up at this point. I think it's doctored. I think you're just making it up, I'm afraid. Yeah, I could have done minimal adjustments there, I guess, to improve it. To be honest, I'm happy with where it is at the moment. I've kind of resigned myself to never getting one. To the point that I've probably stopped trying, which is probably why I've never got one. Okay, fairly good practice. We were actually P2 there, right at the end. But that's probably because we put a fresh set of soft tyres on. But as we know, it's all about the race of endurance. It's a long old way round for 3 hours. Right. Weber and Kubica for car number 1. And Trummer and Gonzalez for 2, as per usual. Oh, I've completely forgot to set up the setup preferences this time. But they've actually stopped overlapping. I swear 2 of our drivers used to overlap, but I guess it doesn't matter now. And for knowledge, we did manage to get qualifying trim. We didn't get soft tyres, but it sounded not too much for qualifying, really. We can make up the places in the race. And 98. I feel we need a bigger range of faces. That would help me get 100%, I'm sure. That's what annoys me when it goes all X. Sometimes you're on 99 and 2 of them are still great. It really annoys me. Right, let's get the boys out. You can vote to add tracks to change layouts in the current game as long as it's enabled in the series rules. Problem is it's totally random, so you could end up adding a Phoenix Oval. Yeah, it's a strange system. And I don't know the tracks well enough to know whether it's a good idea or not for your team personally. And there's even some that just you're purely voting to change the layout. Like this track's got two layouts, and it's really impossible to know. But yeah, the rule sets are really good, and the way the voting system works, that's a big improvement that previous games didn't have. So I really enjoy that aspect. Thank you. I'm glad my rants aren't in vain, Leaf. I've tried to wean myself off it for the last few months, because almost every episode. Oh my god, look at this right old scrum to get out there. You wouldn't think endurance races would be that desperate to get out on track in qualifying, would you? Be a bit of a mess. Yeah, I tried to wean myself off doing that argument because I was doing it almost every week. But it's the main thing that really. I didn't send Trummer out, you idiot. But it's the main thing that really did wind me up so much. Because I just don't understand. Like, in series where it's so well known to have stock cars on both sides of the garage, why on earth would you have 2 different engines, for goodness sake? An engine comes from the manufacturer. Like in the Haas career mode, we're buying them off Ferrari. Why would they be totally different? It's kind of not how engineering works. Bought the run. We'll let him go. We can, if Weber gets a bad time, we can always send him out again at the end of the session. He's in deep traffic here, though. But it's okay. We got some spare sets of soft tyres to use, considering we're probably not going to use them in the race. So whoever does a 110.3, still not too bad considering he's in traffic. I'm still a little unsure about how badly it affects. Oh, actually, it was a bad time. We've got some 107s going in there from the Toyotas and the Porsches. Trummer goes P5 of 108.9. Okay, maybe I'm sold on this idea that traffic does affect it then. It's just because I've seen cars go through other cars at some point, and that makes me question whether qualifying traffic works. Right, we'll send Kubica out, get him to do his lap to get it in the bag, and then of course we can send Webber out for another run at the end. Ian Foxworth, hope you've had a good day and some good classes. Welcome along. I'm doing well, my friend. Doing well. Right, Gonzalez. Fresh set of soft tyres. There we go, my friend. So as long as we get above the Rebellions and the those other cars, the Bicoles, the team I always forget about. Bicoles actually is one of the teams that's been named in this new WEC grid as having an LMP run, and I think Rebellion have as well. So it's going to be interesting to see if they're just upgraded LMP2 cars or if they have built a custom LMP1 car, because if they're going into a class with only Toyota next year, all these teams, then surely it doesn't need to be that much better than an LMP2 class to be on the podium every race. I can't actually remember if Toyota are running 2 or 3 cars next year. But, right, Kubica is into the 108s then, a 108.8. Very good lap from him. So we just need Webber to go out and improve that time, really. And Gonzalez also does a 108. Very good time from car number 2. And because Trummer did a 108 as well, he's up there in 4th. So it's definitely Webber we need to go out and improve. We'll probably wait till the end of the session. And we'll send both cars out again, just to be fair. Yeah, I'm jury is out about the traffic. I think it's like a lot of these question marks unless you run dedicated tests on them. And then even then it's very difficult to tell what cars you'll have ahead of you each run and how much they're actually held up if it does affect them. But at the end of the day, I've seen cars go through another car in qualifying sometimes, and that's never happened in the race, which makes me question whether it works. It does typically, though, if the car gets past the traffic, they have a very quick lap because of the help down the straights. If they don't, then the lap suffers greatly. Well, that depends. I mean, that might be how it is in this game. Obviously, realistically, just following a slower car for one corner could lose you almost half a second sometimes. So, just because you lose a lot more through the corners than you would gain on the straight. And these endurance cars don't have complicated aerodynamics particularly, so there's not much wake and not much slipstream in comparison. Right. I want numbers, Foxworth. I want an Excel spreadsheet and pie charts on my desk on my Tuesday morning, please. Just to add to all the other work you've got to do, mate. Right, definitely no rain, so we may as well wait till the end of the session. I do want to keep at least one set of soft tyres just in case we do need to use them for the race. We'll try and avoid traffic just in case it is really a thing. So we'll wait for this little chain to either hit or go past, and then we'll send it around. Right, so we're on a new set of softs. There he goes. He's the one that really needs to improve that time. So there's almost 0.8 of a second between the two cars at the moment. And we'll send Trummer out as he went out right at the beginning of the session. He's probably got the most time to find. Any progress on getting Nico Rosberg? We're still waiting for the scouting report. We know his talent. I think at the end of the day, we know he's probably going to be extremely expensive, although he is unemployed, which will help. But I definitely want him. I think I definitely want him in that second car. But we will, obviously, 2 episodes time, we'll do the pre-season and the first race together, so you guys can actually talk me through building the car for once. And then we'll decide who the other 3 drivers are going to be. I think Rosberg is almost certainly. He's almost a certainty. I really want Rubens Barrichello. Don't think he's the best choice, but I really want him to win a world title, just because he deserves one so much after all these years playing second fiddle to Schumacher. And I'll pay you in the form of an internet degree, which may or may not be hastily MS Paint job. But, I'm sure some gullible person will take it as a, as a legitimate qualification. Right, big improvement from Webber then. He is, unsurprisingly, the quickest of all our drivers with a 108.2. Trummer finds a couple of temps though, and improves his 108.9 to a 108.7. So only a temp between our 2 cars. But once again, we are a long way off the pace of the Signal Techs. Hopefully we can give him a better race this time though. I'm wondering if we should be a little bit more aggressive at the beginning of the race, because that seems to be our problem, is we're very conservative at the beginning. Maybe just be a bit more aggressive early on. What do you guys think? Hey, I watched a YouTube clip of Elon Musk today saying that degrees don't matter. So, look, if you want to work at SpaceX, quit your degree now, even a real internet degree. But, yeah, you can get plenty of degrees. Any which way you want, but I'm sure yours is very worthwhile, folks. Okay, you see, I never know this. Do we go with medium and hard tyres? Is that going to give us a better performance increase than just going race trim and hard tyres? Let's split it. Let's go medium and hard for one car, and let's go medium and race trim for the other. Give it a go. Yeah, let's be aggressive. Right, let's put Vern in the car, because he's probably our least... our slowest driver, and probably the best one to start off with if it's going to be a short stint, because I'd rather have Kubica and Webber do longer stints. Now, do we go aggressive just by pushing for a long time, or do we go aggressive on tyre compounds as well? We could go soft tyres early on. Let's go medium tyres for our main car. And for car number 2, we'll try putting a set of soft tyres on. 35 to 37. So we probably only need to put in about 31, 32 laps of fuel. Let's try 32. If we're going to be aggressive, let's try 30. Actually, no, let's put 32 and then we can run the engine at higher mode. And then car number 2, we'll start on the softs. We'll put Zollinger in to begin. Actually, he's got the least stamina. Probably Trummer, then he can do a short stint at the end of the race if he needs to. And we can need a lot less fuel here. Probably about 20 laps. I always go for race trim since it will help you out through the race. Yeah, but I think you're right. And any compound, even if it rains as well, you're going to get that benefit. I just wonder if that 15% is relative. If 15% to race trim is going to be the same boost as 15% to a certain tyre. But I guess it must be. It's very difficult to tell, really. But I think you're probably right in saying that, so I think we will switch that to what's going to be our race tyre? Probably mediums. So let's go with those two. And we will push right from the off then and try and go aggressive in the first stint and not let those Signatechs get away from us. Okay, we're ready to go then. Race number 8 of this 9-race season. There's an outside chance of us catching Porsche or Signatech, but in all likelihood we are probably going to finish where we are, 4th place, but it doesn't mean we can't go for some podiums and some good results in the final couple of races and add to the podiums that car number 1 has had so far. It'd be nice to see car number 2 on the podium. I don't think it's been there all season. Trump Gonzalez and Zunja have done a good job for us, good solid job. Yeah, that's the thing. Leaf. If it is completely equal, then it's definitely worth going for the race stream because, as you say, you're going to get the benefit of new tyres. You'd have to dig down the numbers to know if that is like for like. Right, our new aggressive strategy then. Let's see how it works out, shall we? We've got a Rebellion and a Signatech in front of us. I think there's actually one Signatech behind as well. So Vern is up 6th place. He's passed one car. I think that's one of the Bicola cars that's actually got past everybody there. And Trummer needs to try and make his way back past if he can. So we're going to go neutral and medium. Actually, we'll probably stay high on the fuel if we're going aggressive. I don't want to go aggressive to the point that we're destroying the tyres though, that would just be idiotic, surely. But what we will do is go aggressive in terms of using the boost. We normally use it as a hybrid mode. I think for the first stint we're going to try and use it as a boost. Right, tyres seem to be okay on neutral. We might even be able to push a little later in the stint, but we'll keep them as they are as we look at them up to full speed then. Do you think this race was rescheduled so Alonso could be... Yeah, most likely. It's, yeah, as if that guy didn't need his ego inflated more. Vern's up to 2nd. Aggressive start working well then. Although the other Toyota and Nakajima has just got past us again. But we're ahead of the Porsches. And it's working out for us at the moment. If we keep this aggressive strategy throughout the whole race, we probably will need to make one more stop, but that's what everybody else normally does. So maybe that's where we've been missing out. I'm going to go to push with Vern, purely because I think they're getting a bit too cool. We can probably stay on neutral with Trauma. Yeah, as if Alonso needed his ego boosted anymore. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, Fuji is owned by Toyota, so that's the most likely reason that they've been able to change it so easily. But at the same time, I think it's a good thing that Alonso's doing the whole season anyway. So the fact that he can compete in all races and have a chance to be the World Endurance Champion, I think, is a good thing for endurance racing in general. So look away for 2 seconds, you're in seconds. It's like the league racing all over again. I don't know, just being more aggressive really. Obviously we're back down to 3rd now, but the Porsches seem to be struggling again. And the Porsches are pushing a lot harder than we are at the moment. They're maxing out their engine. Yep, I'm sure you would have said that just before I did if there wasn't a delay, Leaf. Toyota does own the circuit, exactly, so I think that's the reason why. You know, a race in Japan with a star like Alonso, he always gets a great reception at Suzuka anyway, so it's, yeah, it makes total sense to have him there. Doesn't hurt anybody by changing it, I'm sure. Yeah, exactly, Indy did a great favour to it. And even Daytona this year, I'm sure viewing figures were up massively from the European crowd. It's just such a pull to be doing it. It's it's you know, it's purely because he's doing it at the same time. If he was doing it at, as a retired driver, it wouldn't bring so much of a big deal to it, but it's because he's doing it at the same time as Formula 1. He's a current star. Just like I'm sure, well, I can't even imagine what would happen if Hamilton went and did one of these series, but of course he wouldn't, because he's Lewis Hamilton. He'd much rather be making music and going to fashion shows. Right, aggressive strategy working out okay at the moment. So, interestingly, Trummer is the one struggling at the moment, and he hasn't got much fuel left in him. I'm going to go back to neutral for the moment on Vern, so I might go to conserve just to get the temperatures down, and then we'll go back up to neutral as soon as we can. And I feel we should go all out on this. Now, there's a part of me at this moment that says, right, we should be backing off now, saving fuel again, and the next thing we should be sensible. But if we're going to do this, let's do it, yeah? Let's use this boost to try and get past some of this traffic with both cars as well. As I said, if we have to do one more stop as a result of it, well, at least we've tried it and see how it turns out. Because every racing season, almost, we've been trying to do one less stop than everybody. So let's see what happens when we do the opposite. And, so Tron will have to come in. We'll probably put on the medium tyres to try and stay aggressive. I'm glad you're excited, Fox. As I said before, it's a personal triumph to be able to get someone else into F1, and I'm really glad you're enjoying it, and let's hope this is a good season. But the off-season is the worst part. Just those couple of months, at least once we get to like a week's time when we get into the car launches, and luckily Williams have done everybody a favour by launching about a week earlier than anybody else does. We have to bring Trummer in this time around them, and he could theoretically do a double stint on those soft tyres. He's right in his zone as well, so actually let's put him on the medium tyres and see if he can go sort of another 40 minutes or so. I could potentially do 39, so let's put 30 laps of fuel in. Car holding up well as well. I'm going to bring him in this time around. Hopefully we can have a good stop. Only 2 more weeks. It's 3 days till the Williams car launches. Williams car launches on Wednesday. 13, 14, 15. It's the 15th, so Thursday. And then the rest of the cars will launch next week, just before Barcelona. But yeah, that real dry period of December. December's okay because you've got Christmas and New Year, you've got stuff to do. You know, distract yourself with. January is truly awful as an F1 fan. It's just the real in-between month. But we should be back up and running soon. I'm sure. I think me and Rage will talk about it today. We hope to do a... let's get those tyres back up. We hope to be doing a podcast just after the final car is launched, so the first day of the test at Barcelona. Probably a short 30-40 minute one to go over the cars and what we're thinking. And then we'll do a full-blown podcast after the final test, just before the first race. It's going to be interesting to see, especially from people like McLaren and Renault. Should be and Williams I'm expecting good things from this year as well. Let's get these medium tyres back up to temperature, because it'll be the first car that Paddy Lowe designed, obviously the ex-Mercedes designer. So that's going to be really interesting to see if they can turn their fortunes around this year. Not mistaken, it starts around the 26th. What, the test, yeah, I think the first test is the 26th, sounds right. I know McLaren and people launching on McLaren the 25th, I think 23rd is Mercedes and Ferrari. Keeping up their tradition the last few years of launching on the same day. And yeah, I think the first test is 26th in Barcelona. Alright, Birmingham to bring in a couple of laps time. So we'll see how this aggression pans out. Obviously, the two Toyotas have sort of kept up their tradition in the last few races of hitting very early as well. Obviously they're not really the two cars we're fighting. So it'll be interesting here. Right, let's put Kubica in the car. And I think I might change strategies for car number 1. We'll go on to the hard tyres. Doesn't mean we still can't be aggressive. But it just means we can get a bit of a longer distance. Hopefully Kubica can go somewhere towards a full stint. So technically they can do around about an hour. Whether we can make them do an hour, I guess we'll find out. And we'll put quite a bit of fuel in because we'll be using it as boost rather than hybrid, so we won't be saving that much. We'll be ready to go again. Well, don't they go vroom vroom around the track? You'd think so, wouldn't you? It's mad that they can't do laps like that because of the testing rules. They should be allowed. You know, they should be able to put a pit limiter or something on and just go around the track for a car launch. I'm an advocate of... There was a crazy idea me and Ray talked about a few years ago. Or it might have just been me thinking about it on a crazy night. Me being crazy, sorry. Just sitting there at night. Is that I'd kind of love a Motorsport series. I think that was a pretty good stop. And we're back out. We need a bit more control on those tyre attempts. I'd kind of love every team. I'd kind of like there to be they'd turn up in Australia. No one's seen the cars. There's no practice or qualifying. And it's like a lottery where it's balls picked out of a bag, random grid positions, and the covers come off like 10 seconds before the lights go on of the cars, so you don't see anything. Imagine how crazy Formula 1 fans would go for something like that. I mean, it's completely impractical, just purely driving the cars around. I mean, they all probably break down after 2 laps, but hey, they'd be an incredible 2 laps. Right, we need to conserve with Kubica. We've not been concentrating too much on this race, unfortunately. So still a few cars to pit. We've got one of the Rebellions in front of us. It's the Porsche. And the Signatechs once again are getting away from us. Not really sure how. We have got a Signatech on our behind at the moment though. So we'll see how this goes. But once again, we're... It's probably because I'm managing it correctly, but the aggressive strategy doesn't seem to be going much better for us. It's after that first pit stop every time we lose so much time, and I'm not really sure why. I don't think there are any mistakes on the pit stops this time round. But we got some boost to use in a little bit. I guess I'd be excited to see the liveries and the new aero designs. Didn't say how it already revealed their car. I think that was just a mock livery to announce the partnership with Alfa Romeo. I would expect it to be a little bit different. And it was just a livery on the old car. But I would expect something along those lines as the new livery. And yeah, we all turn into sort of amateur aerodynamicists when we see the launch cars, but the real fact of the matter is the car that turns up in the launch and does all the press photos, there will be almost every part on that car will be replaced by Australia. You know, they're such basic versions and they don't want to give anything away in the launch, so it's mostly liveries that the launch is about. Because obviously you can forget such classics as Force India turning pink and Renault, the banana boats that started the memes way back when. Right, we need to push a little bit more on these tyres. Let's go to neutral and push on those two. And of course we had 2012, the year of the phallus-shaped front wings. That was a big thing. Yeah, I prefer the blue Sauber livery they've had the last few years to the white one. But obviously with Alfa Romeo, they get a good opportunity to really go bold. And if they keep that metallic red that they had on the launch livery, then it could be a very good looking car this year. And I would expect them to be a bit further up the grid this year, Sauber, so they might not be back runners for much longer, hopefully. Right, Trummer's made some good progress up to P7. Now the only problem we've got with Trummer is he's doing a double stint. And he can't really go much longer. If we can get him up to around an hour, then he would have done his job for the day. But obviously he's starting to get tired and is increasing the risk of, just as I said, increasing the risk of making a mistake, and he's made one. So I think we'll have to get him in. And one of these guys will have to do 2 stints as well. Right, let's put Zollinger out there. Let's put him on the mediums again. And we'll go for about 28 laps of fuel. And he'll be on his way again. Just keep an eye on pit stops this time to make sure he's not made a mistake. Oh, that hard tyre is horribly cold. How's the engine looking? Brilliant, considering we're not quite halfway. We might have to stop the strategy of pushing the engine so hard. Right, good pit stop this time round. Zollinger back out in 12th and last place, but he's the only one that's stopped twice so far. And the engine on car number 2 looking a lot better, so we can probably push a bit harder there. Oh, the penis noses. Yep. There's a company called Memento Exclusives, you might see them bouncing around Twitter, that do memorabilia made out of old bodywork and stuff. And they're selling at the moment, I think it's a 2012 Force India front wing. And it's just the nose cones. You haven't even got the front wing to frame it, and it's just a long nose with a big dick sticking out of it, basically. And I was like, who is going to put that on their wall for like £3,000? Nobody is the answer to that one. Right, I think we need to start looking after these tyres properly. Aggressive is all well and good. But we're still half a minute behind these Signatechs. I think it's the Porsches that we're really going to have a chance of beating today. And there's even a Rebellion in front of us, which is bad news. So, I don't think we've managed this very well today. We've not managed it at all. I always thought Sauber was the ugliest. Really, it was a nice colour combo. Well, you see, I'm a Chelsea fan, an F1 football fan, and it's Chelsea blue, so I do kind of like it, and they were sponsored by Chelsea a few years ago as well. It was probably the least adventurous, let's be honest, but it was, I think it was a lot better looking. Let's use those boosts now. A lot better looking than the black and white, definitely. That's literally what people would say, folks. Completely. That's is that a girlfriend's or a wife's, or is that yours? I mean, I'm not judging, but yeah, I think you'll find is actually the nerves come off a very technologically advanced piece of aerodynamics. I beg your pardon. It's off from one car. Yeah, like hell. Like hell is it? It should still be on there. If you search Memento Exclusives on Twitter or on Google, They sell old F1 cars and stuff as well. There's a lot of interesting stuff on there. It's all stupidly overpriced. Well, I guess not for what it is. But there's a lot of interesting stuff on there. You'll be able to see it as well. The phallic front nose. Right, we've got the tyres back under control. So let's just try and be a bit steadier between now and the end of the race. And maybe it will pay off. Now the thing with Zollinger is he's very quick on this stint. And he's the only one that's stopped twice. Apart from the Porsche and the Toyota. So he could get himself back into this. We're talking about a minute for a pit stop. So he could potentially be coming out around about where the signal techs are once they pit. So it's not necessarily as bad as it looks. I'm doing it again. I did this last time. I'm watching someone else's car. I'm not the best team manager. I'll be the first to admit that, but that's probably rule 101. Watch your own car. I was like, our tyres are a bit ragged. It's because it's not our car. Alright, so Kubica hopefully can get us back into this race by doing a very long stint. The worrying thing is the Porsche and the Toyota ahead have already stopped twice and they're a long way ahead. But there is a rebellion behind that has already pitted twice. So once again, we'll just see how these strategies work out. We could potentially switch back to trying to go long and do as fewer stops as possible just by going on hard tyres until the end, but I don't think the drivers are going to allow for it in terms of how long they can drive. But the other problem now, of course, is fuel. I think we might have underfueled a little bit, and we're still pushing on both cars. So, but I think we'll keep on it for now. I don't think we lose that much this race by giving it a go. I guess we'll never know if we if we bailed out of it, we would never know, would we? So we may as well go aggressive. So I guess it's very early to say, but what do you guys think about the upcoming F1 season? Anyone got any predictions of a winner? Do you think it's going to be all Mercedes again and Hamilton again, or do you think we could see a genuine challenge from Ferrari or Red Bull? It's going to be an interesting one, to be sure. You kind of want to buy one of those gear ratio clocks now. Yeah, they're quite cool. Yeah, I nearly bought one a few years ago when it was Jenson Button's championship winning Brawn. But I don't know about the gear ratio clocks. It's like it seems like something you'd have to explain to anybody. If you'd bought like a wheel rim table, which they've got on there, or an actual piece of bodywork, it doesn't need much explaining to the general person. If someone sees a clock and it would just look like some strange kind of gear clock, you then have to go, no, well, I think you'll find actually that's the actual gearing of fifth gear of a Mercedes that Rosberg raced in the 2013 season, don't you know? And then it just loses all its value as a talking point when you had to explain that. Agreed, go commitment. Okay, we're all out on this now. We're just going to go aggressive. Kubica is back up to 5th, to be fair. And it depends how this shapes out. Zollinger has got out nicely ahead of those that have just pitted, so we are still in this. We've got a few more laps of fuel to go. Mercedes wins still, but I think Ferrari will challenge again. World Drivers' Championship, Vettel, Hamilton, Ricciardo, Verstappen. Okay. Yeah, it's very hard to look past Mercedes to win it again. I honestly think if the challenge is going to come to Mercedes this year, it's going to be from Red Bull. I think they've got the best chance. And if Renault can continue their curve of improvement that they've had the last few seasons, then they've got the best chance considering the two drivers they've got in that car. But I have to agree, I think it's hard to look past Hamilton and Mercedes. I think a couple of years ago when you had, if you still had Rosberg and Hamilton in that car, we're going to have to bring Zunder in this time around. You're going to have enough to get around another lap? Probably if we go back to medium. Yeah, I think if Hamilton still had Rosberg as a teammate and they're taking big points off each other, then there's a lot more of a chance for Ferrari or Red Bull. But unless Bottas makes a big improvement this year, then it's most likely that they'll run away with it again towards the end of the season. It might be a lot tougher for them at the beginning. Right, we're going to put Gonzalez in the car, and we're going to keep on this sort of aggressive train. So we're going to put him on some mediums rather than the hards. And again, sort of 39 to 40 laps. So we'll go 30. Let's put a few more in. We've been a little short. Actually, no, we only got 27 laps out of it this time. Let's go 35. Engine and gearbox still holding up well. And make it well, that. Actually, I don't know who makes our engines. I really should know that, really. But I don't. I'm just going to save a little bit of fuel just in case Orange can't get around, but it should be okay. I think Verstappen will be ahead of Ricciardo. Yeah, it's a big season for those two. I would still argue that Ricciardo had the edge last year, even though Verstappen had the bad luck on most occasions. I think Verstappen's still got quite a way to go in terms of consistency, and he needs to show that this year. But to be honest, I honestly think they're two of the best drivers on the grid at the moment, if not the two best, considering what they're doing. So Red Bull are in a fantastic position. They've just got to give them the car, or they're going to lose one, if not both of them, and that's a big problem for them. Right, I'm just going to go to medium. I should have probably used the hybrid last time round for Kubica, just so he can get actually four laps will take him over an hour, and that's probably okay. So we'll go to high mode on there. Gonzalez came back out in 11th then. He's just behind Senna in the other rebellion, but hopefully he can chase him down. And Lapierre in the Vicolas behind. So it's not looking great at the moment, but it might shake out our way towards the end. It's purely for my own enjoyment, that clock. Nobody needs to know. Yeah, you're quite right. if you like it, why not? I just couldn't quite bring myself to spending whatever it was, like 60, 100 quid on a gear. But they are really nice clocks, and they make some great stuff, some great custom stuff as well. I think there's one on there at the moment that's like a Red Bull car in a coffee table. God, I would love that. Same kind of thing for anybody else. They'd be like, you spent how much on that? But it would be worth it to me. Right, we're going to have to bring Kubica in this time round. Not going to be able to do another lap, unfortunately. But that's his job done for today. He's done his hour in the car then. And I think we'll try the same thing with Webber. We'll try and go an hour or so with Webber, and then we can put Vern in at the end on maybe a set of soft tyres and try and sprint to the finish. So, how many laps did Kubica do? 48. So, probably around about 42 laps of fuel if we're going to keep pushing. We can save a little bit towards the end. Engine looking a little worse for wear on car number 1, but it should be okay till the end, I would think. We're past the halfway mark now. And I think car number 2, we should go high on the fuel and use that boost as well, get them moving. Have to scroll back through here for a minute. Yeah, he might actually. I just threw something out there to start discussion. Yeah, we don't know, really. Certainly going to be a big fight between the two of them. Any mistakes? Oh, big mistake. Bella Wallen, what are you doing? 18 seconds lost on car number 1. And it means that Webber comes out just ahead of car number 2. And that's undone a lot of good work this afternoon. McLaren Renault will probably be 5th or 6th. Haas will win for sure. Yeah, I think they will. There'll be plenty of podiums for them if not. They're going to be right up there this year. I hope they do improve. I hope they. I think it's Grosjean that was talking in the off season. Every upgrade they seemed to put on the car last year didn't work. So if they can sort that out, hopefully they can get up to sort of. We need more competition for Force India. I feel that's what we were missing last year. Was that real intense upper midfield fight. As Williams have tapered off the last few years. So if, you know, McLaren Renault and Haas potentially can get back up there to fight with Force India. As much as I love Force India, I think there needs to be more competition for those places. World Constructors Championship, Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull, Force India, McLaren. £179 still worth it, agreed. Was it really that much? I knew stuff was expensive on there. I guess it is, especially if you're a Mercedes fan or a Nico Rosberg fan or whoever the gear belonged to. I don't know if they've still got any. They did have some Schumacher ones from his time at Mercedes as well. They've obviously got a contract with Mercedes to get all their old gears, but especially saying that, you've got gear from Michael Schumacher's car or something. I guess it is worth that for the right person. 6th Williams, 7th Renault, 8th Haas, 9th Sauber, 10th Toro Rosso. Really, you think Sauber are going to beat Toro Rosso? Of course, they keep forgetting. Toro Rosso is going to have that Honda in it, isn't it? God, that's going to be a story. I so want, because Toro Rosso have been in the shadow of Red Bull for so long. I really want, also just to see the look on Alonso's face, I want that Honda engine to be brilliant next year. And just see Toro Rosso come like 3rd or something. Because they really deserve it after constantly having to make sure they're slightly worse than Red Bull. I agree mostly with that order. I think Red Bull and Ferrari might be the other way around for me. And I can see it. A lot depends on the Renault engine next year. If the Renault engine is as big a step forward as it needs to be, I could see both Renault and McLaren being ahead of Force India. But I agree with that order mostly. Again, even if that Renault engine is not good, I think Renault will. Actually, no, I would agree with that order. I think. And you're probably right with Toro Rosso. That Honda engine's probably going to be terrible again. But, you know, it's not like they've suddenly forgot what they're doing. They're just struggling to get everything to work together. And it could be an overnight thing. Or, you know, a one season's the other thing, where everything that they've learnt and the mistakes they've made comes together very quickly. So, we'll see. Yeah, I think what Leafs put is probably my prediction, but I'd put Force India and Renault the other way round, I think. But yeah, for the most part. We'll see. I want to be surprised. I want next season to be something nobody expected, but it's there's no drastic changes in regulations, so it's unlikely to be. Okay, 8th, 9th at the moment. I'm expecting probably one more stop for both cars. I guess Gonzalez's car, we do have to figure in how much time. So half an hour, about 37 minutes we need to go to. Oh dear, we might have to do two more stops on this car. We might have to start doing some hybrid mode pretty quickly, because we're going to be quite a way short for that car. Or do we just do what we've been... Let's do what we've been saying all along. Let's go aggressive. If we have to do 2 stops, we have to do 2 stops. We can double stink Gonzalez here, I guess. Let's just go for it. Why not? What the hell? We've been chatting most of this time anyway. Race is kind of a nice distraction. I don't have a window open, Fox. It's Screaming Kids again. They're not actually gone today, but I felt I couldn't hold this stream off for another day. So you're most likely hearing a 4-year-old wailing when he's trying to go to sleep. So enjoy. It was much worse last night, so that's why I definitely didn't stream last night. I know. Just at the very least, I'd like Toro Rosso to beat McLaren. Just laugh so much. And again, I think if one single event could cause Fernando Alonso to retire, it would be a Honda-powered car beating the McLaren Renault next year. Evening, Calcifer. How you doing, my friend? Getting ready for the first dirt race this week. The first dirt rally, even. Dirt rally, you know what I mean. Hear traffic noises, cars locking and honking. That's definitely not from me. Obviously there's the noises in the game, but I presume you don't mean that. My window's closed, so it's not coming from outside. So no, that might be from where you are, Fox. Oh, you hear it too? I don't think that's from me. No, my window's not open. So there's only screaming. Only screaming and the sounds of my tears. Right, let's get Gonzalez in this time. We could do a shortish stint on the soft tyres. To be honest, we want him to do as far as he can go. So let's go mediums. Mediums previously have done around about 30 laps. Let's go 25 and push it, I think. We'll go from there. I'm hoping the gearbox will hold out. It should do. And we'll come in this time around then. Yeah, I think it is just game noises mainly. Yeah, I like Alonso a lot more his last few years at McLaren, but I still, he's such a meme creator that I do want to just have one moment of him looking at a tour. Oh, there's a mistake again with Gonzalez. He's lost 10 seconds on the refuel. Bella again. Right, you're gone. Remind me next time, guys. Bella Warden is fired. She's made a disaster of this race. We did 2 stages so far. I'm fastest, even beating Marek 17. And Marek crashed. Okay, last thing rally, isn't it? You just got to keep it on the dirt or on the tarmac or wherever you're driving, on the ice, on the gravel, and you stand a good chance of beating anyone. One mistake can lose you minutes. So yeah, I think me and Rage are going to put in some practice later on this evening, and I'll probably do the stages between Tuesday and Thursday, I would think. good luck with the rest of them, and congrats on the first couple of stages, mate. Do you have some sort of ambient parking garage soundtrack playing? Oh, I forgot, yes. Sounds of the concrete jungle of Norwich, or something. I forgot I had that playing in the background, folks. You're quite right. No, I don't know what that is. I have to listen to it back, but I think it's probably... There are car noises in the background of this game, by the way. Or it's like the crowd noises, but it does sound like a road noise, like a tyre on tarmac. I'll listen to it back later, Fox, and see if I can work out what it was for you, and try and get rid of it for next time if it's not a game noise. Just fire him after the race. What, Bella? I think Bella's a fella? I don't think Bella's a fella. Could have been a fella. Bella was a fella. No longer a fella. Yeah, we'll fire her straight off the race. Just do it. I'll be so angry. Right, tyres looking okay, fuel looking okay. Let's use a boost. I'm not even paying attention to when we're using it at the moment. Webber's in 4th. He's not doing too badly, really, is he? He went super aggressive and he's done less stops than anybody. It's Montesa, not easiest. Yeah, Monte Carlo. It's tricky. You're up in those hills, aren't you, above Monte Carlo? And the sheer drops from what I remember. There's driver 55. No one knows him, but he's so fast. He won pre-season test event. Okay. Well, at least he's got a nice personal name, like driver 55. Well, I think rallies should be super competitive. Like, people can make mistakes. That's the thing, you can drive at your pace and try and get through the whole rally without making a mistake. And someone can try and be on the absolute edge, try and get the fastest time possible. But if they make one mistake, there's a huge accident, a bunch of repair time, and you lose a couple of minutes in the stage itself. So it really does work either way. It's not always been the fastest drivers in history that have won rallies. Here's traffic turned on. Is that an effect, or are you trolling me? Or is it a joke? One of the two. Right, 2 more minutes for Gonzalez, then we can bring him in. I guess we can just destroy these tyres. We've gone far too aggressive. We could have got away with soft tyres. It's going to be his stamina that limits us, really. I'm confident it's game noise. It seems to come around the same corners. Yeah, I think it's probably like crowd noise or background noise on certain parts of the track. I think you're right. I can hear it as well. It doesn't really sound like locking up. It does. It sounds like the faint noise of when you hear a car go past on tarmac, but it's actually the crowd cheering. Probably bring Gonzalez in this lap then. We'll put Zollinger in the car. We have got one new set of medium tyres. We're probably going to have to use those. I don't think we'll get away with softs. And then fuel. 36 minutes is going to be, what, 27, 28 laps? Let's go 28 just to be sure. We can always burn it. This is just a relaxed, aggressive race. Let's just do it. Let's not think about anything too hard. They must be honking trying to get into the track. I'm missing the literally hours-long race. Yeah, it's not one you want to be locked out of, is it? Someone trying to get to work across a public road. How long is this going on for? How long? No thanks. Bella! Right, she's gone. She's absolutely gone. What is her problem? This is a joke. What's she doing to me? Oh, we're going to run out of fuel. Nearly missed Webber then. That would have been embarrassing. Right, Vern in the car then for the final stint. Can we stretch soft tyres that long? Probably not, so we'll go mediums. We'll go a couple of laps less, 26. Actually, I can probably check how we're doing. We're a little over fuel with Zollinger, so we'll go 26 with Webber. Someone removed Bella from the team. She better not be involved in this pit stop. In goes the fuel. No, we're okay. Someone's given her a pep talk. She's not made a mistake this time. Do I stream Dirt Rally Stages, Cal? I don't know how we're going to do it yet. Because me and Rage were going to do it around about the same time. I'm either going to make... excuse me. I'm either going to make a highlights video or I'll stream it. I don't know yet. The thing is, I'm terrible at Dirt Rally. I've played like 3 hours. I need to practice badly. So I don't think it's going to be all that much to watch. But that could make it all the better viewing, I guess. I'll let you know. I think making up a chopped up video is probably a preference. But I could stream it. Possibly. Do you think anyone is going to completely destroy their arm and ruin their F1 career in that online league? Possibly. I mean, F1 drivers, yeah, I might end my F1 league career by doing that. It's a pretty tough game. I think, fortunately, apart from sort of a torn muscle or something, that's probably the worst injury I could get from virtual racing, thankfully. Right, let's use that boost up. This is going well, to be honest. I don't want to start concentrating on too much, just by sort of being blasé about it. It's kind of worked to our favour in this one. It's a game setting. Or is there actually... I think you're taking a mick, aren't you? You're not. There is a traffic. Does that get rid of it? Although that's not actually an audio setting. No, that's just a game, a visual thing. It was actually a traffic setting though. You thought you put in the leg. I'm just trying to keep it all clean and bring the car up. That's all you can do in rallying, really. You work on the speed if you can, but that comes naturally. You just want to get it around the stages and get it home with the least possible repairs. It's a very different discipline to track racing. Did you forget to switch out pit crew or something? No, not really. They might have been like on 50 or 60 stamina, but that shouldn't mean that they make the kind of mistakes they have been. But no, I did swap them out for the best I could. So we'll see if Bella Warden's incredibly worn out. I mean, it's not going to change the fact that she's going to be fired. It doesn't really matter, really. I don't care if her arm fell off, she's still getting fired. I wish you stream. It's going to be fun to watch. Okay, I might do. I'll talk to Ray about it. Yeah, I need to get some practice in tonight and tomorrow before I make that decision. It depends if I want people to see it in real time, or me be able to edit out some of the worst bits. Yeah, okay, I've got you, Greg. There is a traffic setting, but that's not what's making the noise. But if there was a setting that was making that noise, that would be it. Perfectly correct. Alright, how's the engine holding up? Okay. I think we can probably continue to push for the remaining 18 minutes. We're okay on that. Let's use a little bit of boost. Vern, keep an eye on that gap. I think he is slowly catching 4th place. So who have we got? We've got a Signatech, a Porsche and 2 Toyotas. So if Vern can somehow chase down Raoul in that Signatech, That would be a great result. As for Zollinger, completely out of it really. Ninth was okay, but considering the cars ahead, we really needed Zollinger to be 6th or 7th to gain some points. One's Signatech or Porsche today, so it's a little bit disappointing for one car. It's a surprisingly good race for the other. I think the tyres should be fine even if we push. Might just go back to neutral just to cool them down a little bit on that car. And we'll see, Vern is now 5 seconds behind, 4 seconds behind the Signatech, so I think he's going to catch him. You don't hear the noise anymore. You get rid of the horns and you can hear the airplane. Okay, that was a genuine thing. Okay, I didn't... It sounds exactly the same to me. So whether it's one of those weird noises that can't be heard by certain ears, or I'm just going deaf, it's one of the two. But I'm glad it made a difference. Good call, Greg. Good call. Vern's got past. We missed the glorious moment. I think, yeah, it actually pitted the Signatech car, which means we've got a chance of gaining some good points on them. We've got a Porsche coming up behind, but actually Vern is flying at the moment. He's actually pulling away from the Porsche. And he's fired up. Perfect. Don't think he's going to be able to do anything about the Porsche ahead of Bernard. Yeah, the gap isn't even going down. And it's a huge gap anyway. Zollinger nearly 50 seconds behind, and nearly 60 seconds ahead. Although we just have had the rebellion car of Heimer Hansen, double H as I like to call him, pit. So a 5 second gap for Zollinger to try and hold off here. So we're going to have to back off on those tyres as well, right? We're overheating them a little bit too much. Do I have enough fuel? Just, I think. I think we do. I'll do a couple of hybrids. I mean, the laps at the moment are 1 minute 13s. You know what, we might be a little bit short, you might be right. So we need 10 laps to save an extra lap of fuel. Yeah, we're short. We are short. Absolutely right. Shit. I can't bring it home, I've run out of fuel. I've done it again. I guess we can go to... Zollinger has already lost that place, so we don't lose anything by going to low. Just use a little bit of hybrid here and there. Oh, no, we're okay, we're okay, we're okay. Maybe. We've got an extra lap to do after it, that's what I'm a little bit worried about as well. It's going to be a bit too close, this, isn't it? So I've been blasé about the whole thing, and now we've just ruined it. Potentially. I think we're okay. I think we're okay. It's that lap after. It depends where first place crosses to start the last lap. It might be the problem. Hybrid. I don't know, Fox, okay? It's because... It's not, but I'm going to pretend it's because I kept getting moaned about for months at a time in the comments about me finishing the race with fuel. So now I do it to the millimetre, okay? The milliliter even. We're fine. It was never in doubt. We're fine. We didn't lose 4th. We did lose 9th, 8th, but that was probably going to happen anyway. Vern crosses in 4th then. Zollinger across the line in 9th. So jury's a bit out on that, really. I think we went a bit too aggressive on car number 2. And car number 1, the F1 driver's car, I think we got it back because we did those 2 long stints on the hard tyres, and that's what enabled us to do less stops than anybody else. So I think it doesn't say excess fuel, so you're not. No, you're not. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay. I think the moral of the story is to firstly pay attention. That always helps. But the secondary one is, I think we need to go aggressive at the beginning to keep up, but then we still need to make sure we get the strategy right in terms of doing as few stops as possible. So just be a bit more aggressive on the first stint, I think, is what we've learned. And maybe not worry so much about fuel saving. I think tyre compound is important, fuel not as much, because we were pushing pretty much the whole race on the fuel there, and the engines were fine. So almost perfect strategy from Webber. We're only beaten by 2 Toyotas and a Porsche, which is as good as we can hope for. And we managed to beat one of the Porsches home, which is always good news. 2 Signatechs are 6th and 7th. So they will get 14 points. And we will get 14 points. So the status quo is held. And the second car in 9th. A little bit disappointing, but I think we just ate up the tyres a bit too quickly on that car. It was a bit close. Yeah, I think we did well there. I think fourth I'm happy with. Second car, I think, as said, I think we just went too aggressive on it. What did Cal say a minute ago? If you're going to take a car, then you should take Lancia or Quattro. Because 205 is so powerful and light, it's much harder to drive, specifically for a beginner, but the cars are pretty much as fast as Peugeot 205. Yeah, I was going to take the Lancia just because it's one of my favourite cars. But I'll try out the Quattro as well. For sure. Right. So Porsche moved back ahead of Signatech, and we stay a good distance behind the pair of them. We're going to have to come first and second in the final race to overturn that. I think 4th place will be our finishing position. But I've kind of been proud that how far we've pushed Signatech and Porsche. I think we've done a good job. And there's a lot of potential. You know, we've only got 2 men of our 6-man XF1 team. Once they're assembled, it's like the Avengers, they will become greater than the sum of their parts. Don't you worry. Right, we have just one... Oh, 2 million. Lovely. Got an extra sponsor objective there as well. That'll help us. Right, just one thing to do before we finish the episode then, and the stream for today. And you're all going to know what it is. Yep. What was her first name? Oh, that was it. Bella. Bella Warren. She did have really low stamina, didn't she? What do you think? We're going to do like a Roman gladiator thing. Is this thumbs up or thumbs down for Bella Warren? She made 3 mistakes in that race. And that cost us badly. And we did say at the beginning of the season, anybody that made 2 mistakes in a season, in a race, would be fired. Although Zhuang's made 2. Lots of people have made 2, to be fair. So, let me know if this is thumbs up or thumbs down. She's had a shocker, to be fair, but her stamina is quite a lot lower than everybody else. But, I feel more racing teams should be run like a Roman gladiator ring. So, points to throw. Can you hire anybody better? No, this is thumbs up or thumbs down, Leaf. This is not show you're working. It's down. Points to throw, I'm guessing, is down, Fox. Release the lions. Yeah, we keep them in the foyer. It keeps any prospective new job clients on their toes, that's for sure. Oh, that's just our company lion. Yeah, we haven't fed him this week. we didn't meet our sponsor objectives. Thumbs down. I'm sorry, Bella. The board of directors has spoken. It was probably my fault for not giving you enough stamina, but bye-bye. Off she goes back to New Zealand. And she's got to be ruthless in this game, really. Yeah, that was cut their throat. Yeah, okay. Just to specify. Just to specify, Bella, we're going to cut your throat on the way out as well. Christ. Right, that'll be it for today. As always, thank you everybody for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the stream. In terms of stuff coming up this week, the F1 playthrough Force India in F1 2017 will be back at long last. That episode will probably be up on Wednesday. There'll be a new Motorsport manager tomorrow as well of the single-seater playthrough. Haas mode will be either Thursday or Friday. It depends. If me and Rage stream Dirt Rally, then that will be on Thursday. If not, then the Haas mode will be on Thursday. And then the rest of the week is a bit of a blur. Oh, I'm sorry, Humbrian. You've joined just as we're wrapping up the stream. But thank you very much for tuning in, and I hope you can catch the next one, my friend. Of course, you can go back and watch the VOD if not. Sound like Ramsey Snow, I guess. If I tried to do it again, I wouldn't, because I can't do accents to save my life. I will save it, don't worry, folks. I always save it. And yeah, we've only just got the chances to clear up from the last one, so we don't want to do it again. Okay, everybody, thank you very much. You can tell it's getting late. Thank you very much for tuning in, as per usual. I hope you enjoyed it, and you'll tune in to the content the rest of the week. As always, I really appreciate you guys, and this is definitely more fun. I'm definitely looking forward to doing the off-season with you guys live on a stream, because every time I record an off-season for the normal Let's Plays, I'm like, what are they going to say? Am I doing this right? I know I'm going to be doing something wrong. So you guys will be able to talk me through it step by step next time. And that'll be a couple of weeks' time, won't it? But we'll have the next episode of this, if that's all you're interested in, next Sunday. It'll be back on Sundays once again. So, not literally Ramsey Snow accent, just the whole feeding people to animals. Okay. Ramsey Bolton. He's a Bolton, not a Snow. That's what got me confused. Anyway, thank you everybody as always. I hope you have a lovely rest of your week. And I'll see you once again next time.